Hey, this is Karen Richards, and I'm a national marketing director with the Juice Plus company. And I've been asked for this story several times lately, and I thought, I'm just going to throw it in a video and throw it up on my YouTube, and that way you guys can share it as needed. But what it is pertaining to is cord blood and nutrition and pregnancy and the impact. So my first baby was premature by 13 weeks, 27 weeker. And that's what got my attention with Juice Plus in the first place. He was very sick. And so by then I'd already had a second child, but it was, high risk pregnancy at that point. And so my third baby was a totally different experience. We were on the Juice Plus products, both my husband and myself, and my background is in fitness. And so because of that, I was already taking more than the recommended dosage. For Juice Plus, we recommend that you take 2 fruit, 2 veggie, and 2 berry capsules a day. And if you can get one of our amazing complete shakes in, that's just wonderful. And so at that point, because of my fitness journey, I was doing double. And also just because I've always had a lot of autoimmune issues. I didn't know it at that time, but I was later diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So I knew there was a lot of issues going in my body. So I was always doubled up. And towards the end of my pregnancy, I'm very short. I'm short. I'm vertically challenged, people. I'm 5 foot tall. So even though I'd only gained 7 pounds in my pregnancy, my belly was so massive, I just couldn't hardly even drink anything without getting horrible acid reflux. And so I was drinking the shakes. That's all I could get down, and I would just sip them, half a shake at a time. So I was probably drinking, I'm going to be honest, I was probably drinking anywhere between 2 and 4 shakes a day, as well as already doubled up on my Juice Plus days that I taught my fitness classes, maybe more. And so it came to our attention that we could bank our cord blood when the baby was born. And we decided to do that for our oldest because he has a diagnosis of cerebral palsy. And at the time, they were already doing some studies overseas using sibling cord blood. While that still hasn't happened in the States, I'm very excited to say that Duke University is using self-cord blood. So we know it's coming, and this is why we banked it for him. So we did bank that cord blood in hopes that we could use that to help heal, some of his brain injury that occurred during birth. And later on, I heard some things about cord blood, and I was kind of like, oh man, because I'd heard that it's probably not worth it to bank it. People that donate it for science, it's fine, but you're paying a lot of money to bank it. And the problem is that it's probably not nutrient rich enough that it's going to make a difference. You have to have so many parts per million in order for it to be effective. And so I was I was devastated. But then at the same time, I heard a training call come across from one of my upline national marketing directors, Wendy Campbell. And she had passed on this training about a woman who, during her pregnancy, took 2 shakes a day, I believe, as well as doubled her Juice Plus. And so when they tested the cord blood of that mother, they found out that instead of the parts per million, she had parts per billion. And I was so excited. I was like, well, how do I find that out? So I contacted the company where we have our cord blood banked, and I should have dug it out and found it, but we've moved a couple times. I have the certificate saved somewhere. It might even be in my bank box. But we found out that our cord blood, guys, was parts per trillion. Not million as needed, not billion like this other gal had, parts per trillion. So that just goes to show how much proper nutrition really does fuel your body. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, again, I never say Juice Plus is a magic pill because it's not. But it is magical what good food does in your body, right? So I was fueling my body really, really well. I was eating a mostly plant-based diet at that point, and I was taking really good, self-care. Hydration, and going to the chiropractor every single week during my pregnancy. I was just doing the best that I could for myself, knowing my high-risk history. So I hope that story helps. I know a lot of people are interested in the cord blood, and for us, we're excited for what is to come, because with medical advances of today, we know that we are going to be able to use that cord blood that we banked, and that it is good stuff.